Everyone in school thinks karma takes its sweet time. But Tessa Rowan, she delivered it on schedule on presentation day under classroom fluorescent lights, right as her freeloading groupmates walked in, all smiles, ready to steal her grade, and walked out humiliated in front of the entire class. Because if you try to take credit for her work, she'll make sure the only thing you're presenting is your own downfall. Tessa Rowan wasn't the type to complain. Teachers loved her because she worked hard without making noise, and classmates loved her because she worked hard for them. She had that quiet, I'll handle it energy that drew users the way sugar draws ants. But this time, this group project was different. It wasn't supposed to be a nightmare. It was just a simple social studies innovation presentation, worth 40% of their final grade. Students got to choose their groups of 4. Unfortunately, Tessa got grouped with the 3 worst combinations of teenage irresponsibility. Jasmine Wells, captain of the I'll Send It Tomorrow club, Maddie Rivers, allergic to effort, Tyler Crane, a boy who believed holding a pencil was equivalent to manual labor. At first, Tessa thought she could manage them. After all, how bad could it get? Very, very bad. The project was due in 3 weeks, and by week 2, her group had contributed a combined total of 2 sentences. Not paragraphs, not pages, sentences. Every group chat message from Tessa looked like, "Hey guys, can you send your parts by tonight? Reminder, meeting today after school. Can someone at least pick a topic?" Crickets, blue ticks, excuses. Jasmine always had an emergency. Her mom needed her, her cousin was in town, her dog ate her notes, her cat ate her motivation, always something. Maddie replied with "lol sorry" as if that counted as participation. Tyler didn't respond at all. He just reacted to messages with a thumbs-up emoji, which somehow made Tessa angrier than silence. A thumbs-up was commitment to absolutely nothing. Still, Tessa went ahead, picking the topic, dividing the sections, and making the slide structure. She waited for their parts. Nothing. By the last week, she realized something. They were planning to take the credit anyway. The confirmation came when she overheard Jasmine bragging in the hallway. "We're totally gonna crush that project," Jasmine giggled to 2 friends. Tessa basically did everything already, and Miss Parker always gives group grades. "So easy, Maddie chimed in. "Yeah, like why stress? She doesn't mind doing the work." Tyler added, "She's good at it. I'm doing her a favor letting her take the lead." Tessa froze behind the locker door, letting her take the lead. Oh no, they weren't just freeloading. They were counting on her silence, her fear of conflict, her reputation of being the nice girl. That was their mistake. Because Tessa might be quiet, but she wasn't stupid. And she wasn't going to be their doormat. On Sunday night, 2 nights before the due date, she made a decision that tasted like pure electricity. She would submit her own version. Not the group's, hers. She gathered her notes, finished the polished presentation, added citations, made diagrams, created a video clip, and designed a slick 20-slide deck that would put some college seniors to shame. Then on Monday, she walked calmly, invisibly into Miss Parker's room before school. Miss Parker looked up from her papers. "Tessa, everything all right?" Tessa swallowed. "I need to talk to you about the innovation project." The teacher raised an eyebrow. "Is your group having trouble?" Tessa nodded. "Yes, but not the kind you can see in a grade book." She explained everything, the ghosting, the excuses, the hallway conversation. How she refused to let 3 unbothered students ride her work to an A. Miss Parker listened without interrupting. Her expression shifted from neutral to disappointed to something Tessa recognized: professional rage. "You did the right thing telling me," the teacher said finally, "and no, you will not be punished for their choices." Tessa felt her shoulders drop in relief. "Submit your version separately," Miss Parker said. "I will grade you individually and I will handle the others." Tessa nodded. "Thank you." She walked out with her heartbeat thundering in her ears. This was really happening. Presentation day arrived like a showdown. The 3 freeloaders breezed into class wearing confidence like oversized jackets. Jasmine tossed her hair. "Guys, let's just pretend we're all on the same page. The teacher won't know." Maddie smirked. "Tessa probably fixed everything like always." Tyler stretched like he'd just woken from a nap. "I'm ready to wing it." Tessa sat in the front row, quiet, collected, the storm hidden behind her eyes. Miss Parker entered the classroom with a calm smile that should have worried them. But they didn't notice. Of course they didn't. They were too busy planning whose turn it was to speak for the parts they never wrote. Let's start with Group 6, Miss Parker announced. Group 6, Tessa's group. Jasmine whispered, let's get this A. They started walking toward the projector. Actually, Miss Parker said, stopping them mid-step. There will be 2 presentations today, the class murmured. Jasmine blinked. 2, yes, Miss Parker said. Tessa will present her work separately. The rest of you will present whatever you prepared. The silence was nuclear. Tyler's mouth dropped open. Maddie stopped breathing. Jasmine went paper-white. Oh, what we prepared? Jasmine squeaked. Yes, Miss Parker said sweetly, your original individual contributions. I'm excited to see them. The class erupted into whispers, some gasps, some muffled laughs. This was better than drama club. Tessa stood and walked to the front, calm, confident, ready. Her slide deck glowed onto the screen, clean, beautiful, detailed. She presented with clarity, pairing visuals with storytelling, statistics with punchlines. The audience nodded, engaged, even impressed. She finished to applause louder than she expected. Excellent work, Tessa, Miss Parker said. You will be graded individually. Then she turned to the freeloaders. Your turn. Jasmine, Maddie, and Tyler walked up like they were marching to their own funerals. Jasmine opened the blank document on the computer. It was empty, utterly beautifully empty. Where's the slideshow? She whispered. Miss Parker crossed her arms. I assumed you 3 kept your parts separate since you didn't collaborate with Tessa. Tyler stammered. Oh, we didn't know. You've had 3 weeks, Miss Parker said. Please present your work. The class snickered. Phones subtly recorded under desks. This was going on Snapchat for sure. Maddie swallowed. She clicked to the next slide. There was no slide, just a blue background. She whispered, we're so dead. They began presenting the air. Tyler rambled nonsense. Innovation is very innovative. Jasmine tried adding something. And it improves society by helping innovation be more innovated. Someone in the back coughed, failure. The humiliation was vicious and public, exactly what they had earned. When the disaster ended, Miss Parker didn't sugarcoat it. You 3 will each receive a failing grade for this assignment. See me after class. They sat down, faces burning, wishing for invisibility. Tessa returned to her seat, her expression neutral but her victory unmistakable. Karma hadn't just shown up. She had delivered it like a signed package, but their humiliation didn't stop there. Word spread around school faster than lunchtime gossip. You hear about Jasmine's group? They got smoked. Bro said innovation is innovative. Tessa carried them like grocery bags and then dropped them on the pavement. By lunchtime, Tessa wasn't just unnoticed anymore. She was respected. Students approached her with nods, compliments, even jokes. You're a legend, one student said. Teach us your ways, another laughed. Even the shy kids, the ones who knew what it felt like to be used, looked at her like she'd done something heroic. She showed them they didn't have to stay silent. After school, Jasmine stormed toward her. You made us look stupid, she snapped. Tessa raised an eyebrow. You didn't need help with that. Maddie crossed her arms. You sabotaged us? No, Tessa said calmly. You sabotaged yourselves. Tyler tried, stepping forward. You should have told us. I did, Tessa said. You ignored every message. You chose the grade you got? They sputtered with anger, but they had nothing, no argument, no evidence, not even a slide to defend themselves with. Tessa walked away, her backpack swinging lightly. She didn't owe them a fight. She'd already won. That night she received an email, grade 98%. Feedback, outstanding work, Tessa, justice, delivered. A week later, Miss Parker pulled her aside. I want to use your project as an example for future classes, the teacher said. And your presentation skills are exceptional. You ever think about joining the debate team? You'd be amazing. Tessa didn't know what to say except, thank you. She walked out of class standing taller. This wasn't just a project. It was a lesson, not just for Jasmine, Maddie, and Tyler, but for her. Being quiet didn't mean being weak. Being nice didn't mean being a doormat. And being smart didn't mean letting others drain you. From then on, when group projects were assigned, nobody took advantage of her again. Because everyone remembered what she'd done. The girl who did all the work was the same girl who made sure everyone paid for it.